Okay, lovely. All right. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So we'll do one thing. One of our attendees is unable to make it, so we'll anyway finish off the pleasantries. We'll get the pleasantries done with, and then we'll quickly get on with the quiz. So, for the purpose of the first 3 rounds, actually, you can DM your bounces.
Did you join?
Okay, so this for team 172, I think no 173. Yeah, please rename yourselves to your team number, your team, whatever your name. Like teams 8, 1, 4, and 7 have done.
Yeah. Can you
do that.
Can you resend the team name number thingy?
Yeah, I've sent that in the group. I'll just pin it down. That's fine.
Just pin it down. Yeah.
Absolutely. Just give me a moment. Okay. So this is the team lineup. Akash will be team 1. Achintya and Rohit will be team 2. Arun sir and Sukalyan will be team 3. Adish and Amlan will be team 4. Subhashish and Rajdeep will be team 5. Anand and Eldo will be team 6. Varun and Rida will be 7. Ashwini will be team 8. So please rename yourselves accordingly, and then we'll quickly get started with the quiz. I guess team 4, one person is left to join, and team 2, one person is left.
Team 5, my partner is actually in the washroom right now because of the difference.
All right. That's fine. He can join. He'll join, right?
Yeah, he will join. But
Okay,
he's just in the washroom because of the.
So as long as you're comfortable, that's well and good. So I think, yeah, everyone else, please rename yourselves, and we can get started. Team 6, Eldo is left to join. Team 2, Rohit is left to join. Achintya, please rename yourself.
Ashwin, Yeldo told that he'll take around 5 minutes to show up. So
that's fine. By then you can get the rules sorted. The rules are nothing fancy, so it will be fairly easy. Don't worry about that. I think at least one person from every team is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, team 5. Yeah, at least one person per team is here. So we'll get ahead with the rules. You guys can brief your partners later. So next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is our first ever venture, and yeah, thanks to all these people, guinea pigs, especially Preetham, who helped us a lot with helped us a lot with fine tuning the set. So big thank you to Preetham. Big thank you to Nambirajan sir, who took his time out to help us with the streaming and actually sorting out this mess despite being occupied with another quiz right now. So big thank you to Nambirajan sir. All the participants and all the spectators who will join us later, and all the quizzing WhatsApp group that serves as a platform for us to publicize our event. So thank you to all of you. That being said, let's quickly start the finals of second quiz. So yeah, 4 rounds, 2 written rounds with 5 questions each.
बाउंड्री लाइन के ऊपर नहीं गया, बस थोड़ा आगे आके मतलब बाउंस होके चला गया.
Okay. Thanks for the commentary.
Please mute yourself.
Please mute yourself.
Yeah. So 4 rounds, 2 written rounds with 5 questions each. 1 bounce and pounce round with 8 questions. and one buzzer round. The buzzer is raise hand feature in Zoom. So we'll be monitoring who raised their hand first. That will be towards the end of the quiz, so nothing to worry. 2 written rounds. The format remains very simple. You will be able to see an account called DM Your Pounces. DM Your Pounces, as the name suggests. So whichever team, please send your pounces to that account. At least for the purpose of one round, make sure that only one person is sending the answer. All right?
All the best.
Are we clear? Any questions?
For the written round, do you want us to like send all the answers at once or like per
Up
question?
to you. Up to you.
All right.
That's up to you. It's ideal if we get it together. But if you want to send it one by one, that is also fine. Good.
Let's send it together. It'll cause less confusion. I guess.
Yeah, send it together. But if you want to send it one by one, that's fine. Since anyway, I'll have to go through the chats. Make sure that you send the pounces to DM Your Pounces. All right. So yeah, next slide. We can get started. I guess at least one person is there.
Ashwin.
So this round is a round based on recreated album covers. So this is old age home in Britain called Sidmar Old Age Home and Retreat. So the residents of this particular old age home decided to recreate some very well-known album covers, senior citizen style. So try and figure out which album it is. Sometimes you will get part points for the artist. All right. Depends on the question. I'll specify if you'll get part points for the artist. If not, you'll have to deal with it. So that's it. Plus 10 0. No full house bonus.
Ashwin, by default, you need the album as well as the artist?
Pardon?
By default, you need the album as well as the artist, right?
By default, what?
By default, what do you need as the answer? The album as well as the artist, right? Both of them.
I'm really sorry. I'm unable to understand what you're saying.
I'm asking that by default, what do you need an answer for this question?
I'll specify.
Okay,
Good.
okay.
So we are kickstarting the quiz without further ado. So here we go. Yeah. Question number 1. Just need the artist. If you can give me the album, that will get you brownie points. But I just need the artist. Very well-known artist. Won't be giving many clues here. Very well-known artist. So you can of course feel free to unmute yourselves and object to clues if you feel I'm being too lenient.
No clues.
Wonderful. So I won't be giving any clues. All right, just need the artist on this one.
Ashwin, hi.
Yeah.
Ashwin, do we have to DM you the answers?
Send the answers to the ID called DM Your Pounces. All right.
Wait, as and when the questions progress or?
Yeah, as and when the up to you. If you want it as and when the questions progress, you can send it as and when the questions progress. If you want to give it all at one go, feel free. All right. That's up to you. Just put your question number and give me the answer. All right. Okay. Won't be staying any longer on this one. Moving on. One of the best selling albums of all time. Very well known album. I need both the album and the artist. 1 word for the album and 2 words for the artist. Both very well known.
Oi.
Okay.
No clue.
I guess was that an objection to clues?
No clues.
Okay, fine. Team 3 blocking hints. So I have no choice but to, well, not give hints.
Guys, it would be ideal if you could like switch on your videos.
It would be ideal if you can keep your videos on. So that settles this question number 2. Moving on, the next question. Yeah, Abhinav, next question. So, all right, very simple, very straightforward. One of the more recent albums in this written set. It's the more recent album. Very
Ashwin.
recent, and the way it is written is very helpful. Anyone blocking hints?
You want the album name or you want
Album and the artist. Of course, if you figure out the album, you can easily get the artist.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Objection.
Okay. So, question number 4. One of my favorites from the set. The flag in the original album cover, you will see a different flag. That's all the hint I'm giving you on this one. In the original album cover, everything else is same, but a different flag.
So you need both here.
Okay, very simple answer. I need just the album. Even if you don't give me the artist, it's fine for this one. Just the album is fine. I don't need the artist.
Okay.
Next, final question of this round. All right. I think this is the easiest in a way. I need both the album and the artist. Sidmar is the old age home where all these shenanigans happened. So you'll have to replace Sidmar with something else. And the cover is not an exact recreation because of the physical limitations for the elderly. All right, now we'll do a quick rollback. A very quick rollback. And then this is question number 5. Which album, which artist? Please. Which album? Only the album is fine. Which album, which artist? Of course, if you get the album, you will get the artist. Previous one. Which album, which artist? Again, one of the most best-selling albums of all time. Okay, a previous question. Just the artist, nothing more. If you can give me the album, absolutely fine. I'll take it, but you'll get only brownie points. So if you want to go for brownie points, sure, go ahead. So that concludes this round. Is there anyone left to submit answers? Okay, I'm guessing not. I'm guessing no one is left to submit answers. So, okay, team 2 is left to submit answer. Team 2, I'll give you 10 more seconds and then we'll move on.
We have submitted, dude.
Okay, you have submitted. Wonderful. So we'll get tracking. So, Abhinav, next slide. Keep calm and wait for the answers. This is Queen 2. Or Queen is fine. Whoever is given Queen, wonderful. Next. This is Michael Jackson's Bad, one of the best-selling albums of all time. Third one, this is PS 1989. So next. This is Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. So next. This is London Calling by The Clash. So let's quickly check these scores. Rahul, are you on? Can you hear me, Rahul?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, fairly. So I'll dictate the scores. You can take it down, okay?
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Am I audible?
It's nice if you can be a bit more audible, but I'll dictate the scores anyway. I'll be keeping note of them myself. So hopefully we won't be running into any problems. So team 1 I think all the teams have done, judging by the looks of it, I think all the teams have done pretty well in this round. Okay, team 1 is Akash. Team 1 gets 50 points, full house. Good start. Team 6 also gets 50. Good start. Actually, sorry. Team 6 gets 40. Team 6 gets 40. Team 3 gets 50. Team 4 gets 50. Team 2 also. Team 2 gets 45. It's not thriller, it's bad. So team 2 gets 45. The rest of the teams are sent it one by one.
Ashwin, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Team 8 gets 25. That leaves teams 5 and 7. Team 7 gets Team 7 gets 50. That leaves us with Team 5. Team 5 starts with 10 points. So I'll dictate the score once more. Team 1 starts with 50. Team 2 on 45. Team 3 on 50. Team 4 on 50. Team 5 on 10. Team 6 on 40. Team 7 on 50. And Team 8 on 25. That concludes the first written round. So now we'll have pounce and bounce round. We'll quickly move on. Plus and minus 5 on pounce and plus and 0 on bounce. Simple and straightforward. We'll be going clockwise from 1 to 8. First question will be Akash direct. The rest of you can pounce. As usual, send your pounces to the ID name, DM your pounces.
Ashwin.
Any questions?
Hi, Ashwin.
Yeah.
This is Subhashish here. Yeah,
Yeah.
Team 5.
Yeah.
I guess we got Taylor Swift full.
Okay, you're saying you got Taylor Swift. I'll check. Okay.
Can you just check that?
Give me a moment.
Sure.
I'm checking. Oh yeah, you got Taylor Swift. So team 3 scores stands at 20. My bad. Sorry about that.
Team 5.
Yeah, 5. Sorry. 5 is at 20 and not 10. Sorry, but I have rectified it. So okay. So all right. Can everyone hear me? Am I audible?
You're audible.
Yes,
You're
sir.
audible.
Okay, wonderful. So we'll quickly move on to question number 1. DM your pounces to the ID name DM your pounces. It all started when Sears switched a pair of phone numbers, leading to an unusual number of calls to a CONAD facility. Colonel Harry Shue then called aside a few airmen and tasked them with giving callers the location of a certain entity they have been tracking on their radar. Since then, every year, military personnel spend time updating the public on a certain entity's whereabouts at a certain time of the year. So what is this all about? It's a very, very well known tradition. What tradition is this? Team 2 has found, so I won't be giving any more clues. Team 1, this is your direct, please hold on. Team 4 has pounced. Team 3 has pounced. Team 8 has pounced. Team 7 has pounced. Team 6, please pounce first. Teams 5 and 6. Team 5, are you guys bouncing? Okay, team 6 is also pounced. Team 5, are you bouncing? Close pounce in another 5 seconds. Team 5, if you want to pounce, go ahead. If not, I will have to close it. Closing pounce in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pounce is closed. Team 1, go ahead.
This is the tracking of Santa Claus around Christmas.
By who?
By NORAD, I think North American Defense Program. Like Defense.
We'll get you full 10 points. Lovely answer. This is the origin behind the NORAD tracking Santa Claus. The tracking Santa was fine. The CONAD was replaced by NORAD in the 1960s, and they continued the tradition. So plus 10 to all teams. All teams got it right, actually.
Okay.
Plus 10 to all teams. The next question would be direct to team 2. Next. The ticker tape parades of New York City are famous for celebrating people and occurrences, including the Statue of Liberty, Winston Churchill, President Eisenhower, etc. However, they have also honored eventual Nazis like Philippe Pétain and Pierre Raval. So Pétain's parade was retroactively invalidated recently, as in a few years ago, on account of his Nazi connections. The City Journal of New York ran a piece about how the parades don't exactly commemorate good people, but people whom the New Yorkers wanted honored at the time. The title of this article was a play on the part of Broadway where the parade occurred, to indicate that all kinds of people receive them. So what was the title? So there is a part of Broadway which gets its name because the ticker tape parade passes through that area, and it is populated by tall buildings on either side. And if you get that part of Broadway right, add something to it to indicate that not only good people, but not so good people also get it. If it helps, if you get the part of Broadway is a 3-word term, the modification it also rhymes with the 3rd word. Very commonly used usage. Okay, team 3 has pounced. Okay, fine. Any other teams pouncing? Closing pounce in another 5 seconds. Closing pounce in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pounce is closed. No more pounces will be accepted. Only team 3. Team 2, you can give me your answer now.
We'll say something like Commoners Valley or something, because you said it's around.
Not Commoners Rally. I will have to pass you. Team 4. Team 4, do you have an answer?
Yeah, I'll pass.
Okay. Team 5.
Hello. Is this Hell's Kitchen becoming Devil's Kitchen?
Not Hell's Kitchen becoming Devil's Kitchen. Team 6.
We'll pass.
Okay, team 6 is passing. Team 7.
Okay, we're going to say Canyon of Zeros.
We'll get you full 10 points. Brilliantly cracked by team 7. Answer slide. So the answer, essentially the title was Canyon of Heroes and Zeros, because both heroes and not so much heroes get the parade. So brilliant crack by team 7. Team 3 also gets plus 10. Next question direct to team 8 coming up. Next question. All right. So there's a church called St. Mary's Church in Beverley, East Yorkshire. It's a 12th century church which recently undertook a 10-year-long restoration program to replace the medieval stonework. The sculptors handling the commission, in an attempt to draw the attention of future generations, based them on the works of a certain author who was a devout Christian. Critics argue that although this may seem controversial, the works are actually a Christian allegory, with one of the characters being killed by a witch, only to return from the dead. So what are these church sculptures based on? We'll show you a few images. Team 4 is found, so I won't be giving any clues. Image. Next slide, please. Yeah. This is one image, very helpful. Next image. Some of the other characters from said trilogy. So we'll go back to the first image. I think the first image is more helpful. Yeah. So this is the first image. Team 2 has bounced. I'll close bounce in another 5 seconds.
What exactly one? Can you go back to the question? Just hold on.
Yeah. Abhinav, question. Team 6 is bouncing.
Yeah, I want to pounce, okay?
Okay, go ahead, go ahead. Team 6 has bounced.
Ashwin, I've also punched team 1.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, go ahead. So team 1 has pounced. Team 8, you don't need to pounce.
Team 3 has pounced.
Yeah, team 3, your pounces noted. Team 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, your pounces are noted. Team 7 has pounced. So only 5 and 8 are left. So closing pounce in 5.
Hello, Ashwin.
Yeah.
We have pounced.
Just a minute, just a moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So team 5 has also pounced. Team 8, go ahead.
Yeah, so this is the Chronicles of Narnia series.
We'll get you 10 points. This is indeed the Chronicles of Narnia, brilliantly cracked by all the teams. This is another universal crack. We've got some pretty good finalists over here.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, Rahul, we can hear you.
You want me to keep the score?
No, I'm keeping scores. I'm keeping scores. It's okay.
Yeah, fine.
Next question.
Direct to team 1.
Yes, direct to team 1. So Antonio Manetti was a Florentine mathematician and cartographer who lived in the 15th century. He was one of the earliest to study and illustrate the cosmography as depicted in a certain work. His theories also provide the base for later calculations of the size of a certain part of that cosmology, which is divided into 9 sections. What is this from a work created more than a century prior to his birth? Inspired these calculations of Antonio Manetti. So Antonio Manetti lived in the 15th century. A century ago, something was created. So what inspired these calculations? Look at the image very carefully. Some very indicative words are hidden in the image. If you're eagle-eyed enough to catch them, you will get your answer almost straight away. Think about the fact that it's actually divided into circles. The part on the top, the conical part, is a cross section, and the part at the bottom is the top view, like of each circle. Team 6 is pouncing. Team 4 and 5 have pounced. Won't be keeping the pounce open for too long. Closing pounce in 5.
2 has pounced.
Can you show the question, please? Can you show the question, please?
Yeah, question. Closing pounce in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pounce is closed. Everyone except 1, 7, and 8 have pounced. 1 direct. Go ahead. Team 8 is slightly late. Team 1, go ahead.
Is it Dante's Hell, Dante's Inferno?
We'll give it to you. This is indeed Dante's Inferno, which is of course part of the Divine Comedy.
Will you be considering my pounds?
I just said you were slightly late. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
But I closed pounds. So yeah, answer slide. Okay. Next question. Okay. Rahul, you want to take over?
Yeah. So this form of art in India dates back to the 1940s. So when the World War led to the proliferation of their canvas. So canvas is a really loose term to use there. So the art depicts a kaleidoscope of colors, animals, slogans, and scenic views, most admired by the common man for the lifestyle they imply. So the root of this art lies much farther back. So art historians argue that it is a carryover from the tradition of decorating beasts of burden by the ancient trading communities in India. So identify this visual art that even featured as a Google Doodle a couple of years back on a very auspicious day. So the Google paid homage to this form of art because on a very auspicious day. So that's why it came to be much more popular than any other homages paid to Indian arts. So this art is basically pretty different from the conventional form of art, but this is extremely popular all over the Indian subcontinent. So
Okay. Team 6 is bounced. This would be direct to team 2. Rahul, tell me when you need to close down.
yeah, so canvases is a very loose term. I'll explain it during while I explain the answer. So it contains.
Rahul, your audio is breaking.
Yeah. Just take over.
Okay, so far only team 6 is okay. Teams 3 and 6 have bounced. Shall we close?
Are you looking for a specific term?
Not exactly. Okay, we're closing pounds in 5 seconds.
Ashwin,
Yeah.
do we have to give the specific name of the art form?
The idea, to get the idea right, that's good enough for me. No need to elaborate. If you have given me an answer, stick with it. So, yeah. Closing pounds in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Only teams 1, 3, 6, and 7 pounces are
I also
considered.
pounced.
Other pounces won't be considered.
Team 1, I also pounced, right?
Yeah, team 1, your pounce is accepted. That's fine. So, team 2, you can go ahead.
Is this matchbox art?
No, we'll have to pass you. Team 4.
Is this truck art?
That is absolutely right. This is indeed truck art.
Oh, fuck.
So, next question. Cluster into team 4 and all the teams on the pound. Hotel Teresa was a hotel on 125th Street and 7th Avenue, which was started in 1913 and built by the famous Blum brothers. In 1940, the management of the hotel recognized the social changes in the nation and became one of the most inclusive establishments of its kind in the state. Due to it being one of the better establishments in the neighborhood and the exclusionary treatment in similar establishments, it was dubbed the Harlem equivalent of an iconic landmark about 5 miles away. Which landmark is this? Who brought significant attention to the hotel as well as the deplorable condition of the Harlem neighborhood in the 1960s when he stayed here to address the UN? So, if he was staying there to address the UN, you can figure out the general geography. So, what similar establishment would you find in the locality very close to where you would go to address the UN? Very well-known landmark. And of course, someone from the 1960s. So timeline is very helpful. Team 1 has pounced. This would be team 5 direct. Won't be holding the pounds for too long on this one. So I'll close pounds in another 5 seconds. think of the fact that it's very inclusive. And other establishments were not. So closing pounds in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pounds is closed. Team 5, you can go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think for the landmark, this is the Waldorf.
Okay, so the person would be?
And for the, I think significant attention, Muhammad Ali.
I will have to pass you. Team 6.
So the landmark would be Waldorf Astoria, and the second part would be V.K. Krishna Menon.
Second part would be?
V.K. Krishna Menon.
Not V.K. Krishna Menon. Although Jawaharlal Nehru did visit this man, I'll pass you. Team 7.
Yeah, this is Waldorf Astoria and Fidel Castro.
Will get you 10 points. Lovely answer there. This is indeed the Waldorf Astoria and Fidel Castro. So Fidel Castro was put up in a very plush hotel when he came to address the UN. But he decided that that won't be, that will be out of character for him. So he decided to go and stay in this African-American neighborhood of Harlem. And even before then, this hotel was called the Waldorf Astoria of Harlem. So that's all I was looking for. Plus 10 to team 1 as well on the pass.
Ashwin?
Yeah.
Do we get 5 points for what?
Yes, you get 5 points. Plus 5 to team 5 for getting the Waldorf Astoria correct. Moving on. Next question. Rahul? Rahul, are you sure? Okay, so it appears this audio is still choppy. So SDF is a company that uses a trio of AS-355 and AS-350 helicopters for a specific purpose every year. They even manage 5 VIP transport helicopters, and all these fly in such a way that they never cause a nuisance while handling weather changes. One of the biggest changes for this company is to secure special flyover permits for filming in areas like the Kalenk National Park, which otherwise prohibits aircraft from flying at an altitude, lower than 1,000 meters. Whereas the helicopter usually hovers at an altitude of around 500 meters. So other challenging aspects of filming include juggling among 6 radio frequencies, talking constantly amongst each other, etc. So what is happening here basically? Think simple. So what is the purpose of these helicopters? Usually they come to attention around the middle of an year. Of course not 2020, because 2020 is very much unlike any other year. But in most other years, you would notice these helicopters towards the middle of the year. Teams 2, 3 and 4 have already pounced. Teams 2, 3, 4, 5 have pounced. This is direct to team 8. Okay. So I'll close pounds in another 5 seconds. Closing pounds in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pounds is closed. Team 8, you can give me your answer right now.
So are these helicopters used for monitoring like population of endangered animals or something?
Monitoring population of endangered animals, then the national park wouldn't have a problem with it. I will have to pass you. Team 1.
Pass.
Okay, passing. Team 6.
Passing.
Team 6.
Passing.
Okay, team 6 is also passing. Team 7.
Okay, wild guess. I'm guessing this is to televise the Tour de France.
We'll get you 10 points. So this is indeed used to film Tour de France. These are the helicopters. The company is named HDF, stands for Helicopter de France. So plus 10 to all the teams that pounced as well as team 7. Team 8, you will get another direct now. So next question. This will be the last question of this round. The Amazon is the largest rainforest in the world. However, despite the humid temperatures, rainfall, and the presence of the mighty river, there is one thing lacking in the environment of Amazon: phosphorus, which is very important to plant growth. So recent research has put forth the argument that the vast amounts of phosphorus essential for the growth of trees is transported in 182 million tons of dust picked up annually by the wind and the weather. So due to the extreme climates of this source, the dust happens to be rich in a variety of minerals originating in dead microorganisms. What then is the unlikely source of phosphorus that enables growth in the Amazon? Again, think simple. Team 6 is found, so won't be giving any further clues. Just read through the question carefully. You might pick up. Team 3, can you clarify your answer a little bit? Like, I wanted to pinpoint it to a specific thing. I can't consider this count. I need you to pinpoint it. Team 1 as well. Team 1, you need to pinpoint it to a specific location.
Okay.
Or as in a more specific geography than the ones you're giving me.
Done.
Okay. Team 3, please pinpoint it to a more specific geography than the one you have given me. Teams 1, 5, and 6 are pounds. Team 3, I'll wait for you to improve your pounds.
Team 7
2 has pounds as well.
All right, 2 has pounds.
7 is also pounced.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, team 3 has pounced. So after 7, we won't be accepting any more pounces. Pounce is closed. Team 7 is the last pounce that we'll be accepting. Team 7, please pounce touch.
We have pounced.
Okay, give me a moment. I cannot see. Okay, yeah, you have pounced. I need you to narrow it a bit further. Like, I need you to give me a more specific geography than the one you've given me.
Do I need to improve?
No, everyone else is good. Team 7, you need to give me a more specific geography. Okay, fine. Team 8, go ahead. All yours.
Is this the Sahara Desert?
Plus 10. This is indeed the Sahara Desert. So plus 10 on that. So specifically, it's from a depression in Chad, which used to be a lake bed. So plus 10 to all the teams that wrote Sahara Desert, teams 1, 3, 6, and 7 who wrote Sahara on the pounds, and of course team 8 who got it on the bound. Teams 2 and 5 will get an unfortunate negative. So with that, we come to the end of the second round of the quiz. So we'll take a quick look at the scores before we move on to the next round. I'll read out the score. Team 1 is at 110. Team 2 on 80. Team 3 on 120. Team 4 on 100. Team 5 on 60. Team 6 on 90. Team 7 on 120. Team 8 on 55. So pretty much everybody is within striking distance of each other. We still have another 17 questions to go. So still very much up for grab. Any questions? Any doubts with the score?
Yeah, good.
Okay, good, wonderful. So this is the second round. And this round is all about Netflix. Rahul, are you around? So, Rahul, your audio is choppy. Hello. Hello. Okay, Rahul is still undergoing some kind of issue. Okay, Rahul. Yeah, roughly. Roughly audible.
Am I audible?
Yeah, more or less. I guess enough to handle the quiz. So this round format remains same.
This is fine.
Yeah, Rahul, we can hear you. I'll just say, I was just explaining the rules. The rules remain the same as the one for the earlier round. All about Netflix, but even if you don't necessarily watch Netflix, you will be able to crack the questions. So let's quickly move on. Rahul, all yours.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, fine. So Netflix recently released a docu-series named Bad Boy Billionaires that dealt with financial fraud allegations of prominent Indian business tycoons. So the episode on Neerav Modi, it's a birthday on a famous James Bond whose title has close connection with Neerav Modi's area. So this traded by Indian entity which claimed to produce 90% of its items. So we're looking for a birthday on a famous James Bond movie. If there are any objections, I will give you the exact timeline of the movie. It might help if you are hardcore games.
The
Rahul,
voice
you're still kind of choppy.
bad. I mean,
Okay, just quickly sum up what you were trying to say. Actually, teams are going for it, so let's not give any clues.
Yeah.
Teams have already started counting on this.
So we're looking for the birthday.
yeah, team 2, please.
Where we won't be giving any points for the actual movie, the title of the movie.
You need the exact fund or the modification as you will. The actual movie won't get you any points. Okay, let's move on. Question number 2.
This is
Yeah, this is a written round.
Okay, then I'll
This is
send
a written round. You can send all the answers together or you can send them one by one as with the previous round, but it's up to you. So, The Social Dilemma is a 2020 Netflix movie about the harmful effects of social media algorithms on our everyday life. The movie throws light on how the system of targeted content has led to different people viewing different content tailored to their political leanings and other preferences. This leads them to have differing perceptions of reality and to blindly accept the reality they come across on social media. Which iconic movie based on a similar premise does the documentary compare this predicament to? If there are no objections, I will give you a hint that might make your life a little bit easier.
Okay.
Anyone blocking hints?
Yeah.
Okay, team 3 has blocked hints, so I won't be giving any hints. But think of, like, it deals with someone's perception of reality, that's all I'm saying. Alright, next. Next. Down.
Yeah, so in the first episode of a Netflix original, a certain Matthew Moreno decides to migrate to a city in the Americas track piece is profession. So profession is again a loose term in the 1970s. So the writers have drawn parallels with another character from the world of literature, as just like the character Matthew Moreno had three choices whom he could choose to trade with. So the first was Ochoa brothers, who were in cattle breeding and family restaurant businesses. The second was Rodriguez Gacha, who was in the emerald trading business. So there are two parts for this question. So just tell me who was the third and most popular option, which Matthew Moreno eventually took up, and to which literary character was he compared to, pertaining to the number of options he had. So just think about the fact that Matthew Moreno had three options and he chose the third one. So just tell me who was the third option and which literary character was he compared to.
Yeah, I guess. Is anyone objecting to further clues?
No, hence please.
Okay. Anyone objecting to further clues? Okay, no one is objecting to further clues. So might as well give a clue. So three options, very well known. Okay, team 2, I understand your eagerness for hints. Please allow me. Three options, very well known. Yeah, Rahul, take it. Hello? Yeah, so here's three options.
Yeah.
The three options part is the one which might lead you to your answer. And third option is kind of obvious. Timeline and profession is in air quotes. So think of what this could be.
If it helps, I'll narrow down the geography. So this was something to do with the South Americas. Sometime in the late 1970s. And Matthew Moreno was from Chile.
All right, moving on.
Probably we didn't know a lot of episodes.
Down the next question. Hello. Anyway, the characters of Money Heist were given city names to protect their identities right from the first episode. The only exception being the professor.
So the characters of Money Heist were given city names to protect their identity. Should you take over? There is a lag from my side.
Okay, so Rahul is lagging. Apologies for that. So only exception for the city name rule was the professor himself. Recently, Alvaro Mote revealed that the unofficial name of his character is this. Even though the city is small, the concept of the city fits the professor, since just like the character, city is always shielded, or in a geographical context, I would say surrounded, but still has great power all over the world. Its city was chosen by the professor as his unofficial name. So because the city is the epicenter of something, and because it is surrounded by something, he chose, okay, fine, this is my unofficial city nickname. Very well known city, small if it helps.
It's an unofficial name. I don't think it would be used in the series as such. It's a small shielded city, but still has trade powers all over the world.
Anyone? I think a few teams have already gone for it, so won't be giving any clues. Yeah. Bad Boy Billionaires is a 2020 Netflix original that looks into some of the biggest financial scandals in Indian history, like those involving Vijay Mallya and Nirav Modi. The opening credits of the show features items like an F1 car, an airplane, and diamonds to indicate the subjects of the docuseries. It also includes another object that is no longer valid due to it being replaced with something twice its value. That object showcases an oil rig, a foundry, and a satellite to depict the Indian economy. What is this object which was introduced about 20 years ago from today, but invalid as of 4 years ago? Is this all about? So what is this object? I need a very, very specific answer. Ideally, I will need you to give me the value of the object as well. Because if you mess up the value, that object is a different object which showcases something entirely different. So you can give your answer. Yeah, there's only one possible way to give the answer.
Is this the last question of the round?
This is the last question of the round. We will be doing a quick rollback after 10 seconds. Abhinav, stay on the last question. Yeah. All right. So we are doing the rollback. What city was chosen by the professor? Which literary character? And who was the third option? Need both?
Could you stop on this question? Pause this
Huh?
question. Could you just pause on this question?
Cool. Yeah, we'll hold on this question for another 10 seconds and then we'll quickly get on with the rollback. All right. Question number 2. So which iconic movie based on a similar premise does the documentary compare this predicament to? Okay, first question. So what was the title of this episode? Exact answer needed. The name of the movie will not get you any points. Think logically.
It's a very slight modification of the title of the movie.
But the modification is subtle but extremely suggestive of the situation, if it helps. So that was it for the round. Abhinav, if you could please go back to the last slide of this round. Last slide, yeah. Keep calm and wait for the answer slide. Wait. Please don't move further. Please hold on there. So we'll wait a moment for everyone to share their answers with me and then we can get started.
Ashwin, how many more? There is one more round after this, right?
One buzzer round and we are done.
Okay.
So teams 5 and 8 sent me their answers one by one. So I'll evaluate them as we move. So yeah, we'll take up the answers. First question. Yeah, anyone?
Diamonds aren't forever.
Diamonds aren't forever, absolutely. Next.
The Matrix.
Not the Matrix.
Truman Show.
Truman Show and not Matrix.
Pablo Escobar.
Goldilocks.
Pablo Escobar and Goldilocks. And Goldilocks.
Vatican City.
Vatican City is absolutely right.
1,000 rupee note.
1,000 rupee note, specifically the 1,000 rupee note. So I'll just quickly
Just give me a moment to tally the score. All right. Let me just tell one more team score, then we can move on. Okay. I guess I have everyone's score except team 7. Team 7, I'm checking. All right. I have everyone's score. Team 1 is on 25. Team 2 is on 35. Team 3 is on 45. Team 4 is on 40. Team 5 is on 30. Team 6 gets a full house. Brilliant job. Team 7 gets 35. Team 8 also gets 35. Any corrections?
Ashwin,
Yeah.
this is team 5 here.
Yeah.
Did you mention 30 for us?
No, yeah, you guys got 30. You got 1,000 rupee note. You got Vatican. And you got Diamonds on Forever.
We got Pablo Escobar as well.
I'm checking.
Yeah,
sure. Oh yeah, wait. Oh yeah, you got Pablo Escobar as well. So 35. So I hope everyone is keeping track of at least their own score. Anyone else? Any corrections? This is shaping up to be a very exciting contest. The last round is the buzzer round. Classic buzzer round rules. Next slide, please. Plus 10, minus 10, infinite attempts per team. Feel free to finish at a minus 120. No, actually, no. Nobody can finish at a minus 120. But feel free to gather minus 120 from this round. Will be very entertaining to watch.
Nasdeep karna hai.
So what you have to do here is go use the raise hand feature to press the buzzer. Whoever presses first, I'll read out their team's name and they can give me the answer. All right?
Ashwin,
Yeah.
Very new question. Do you how can we raise hands?
Yeah. So if you're on phone, if you click the 3 dots on the bottom right on the Zoom meeting, you can
I'm on
see
the laptop.
Okay, if you're on the laptop, you can go back to this part called participants. There you can see the option to raise your hand.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Lovely.
Thank you.
So I'll just keep track of whoever is raising hand. If you raise your hand, please don't lower your hand if you do raise your hand.
Ashwin, should we?
Yeah. Hello?
Both the team members
Just reveal the scores.
Yeah, I'll reveal the scores at the moment if you want to strategize. Team 1 is on 135. Team 2 on 115. Team 3 leading the quiz at the moment with 165. Team 4 on 140. Team 5 on 95. Team 6 on 140. Team 7 in second position at the moment with 155 and Team 8 with 90. Team 8 or 5 can still win the quiz. So please don't get carried away with your leads right now. So without further ado, is everyone familiar with the raise hand system as of now?
How many questions in this round?
12 questions. 12.
So can
12.
both the team members raise a hand?
Pardon?
Can both the team members raise a hand?
Ideally one, but if by chance both come, that's fine.
Yeah,
We'll
we
consider whoever comes first.
That, na? How will we communicate? So this
That's
is
fine.
That's up to you. However you have communicated so far, that's still how it is. Because even in an actual buzzer quiz, you will have both. And both of you can raise hands on any question. Like I assumed you were talking about both of you raising hands for the same question.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if that happens, that's fine. It's okay.
Dude, should I keep track of the raise hand thing, the buzzer thing?
I'm keeping track. Don't worry. I'm keeping track.
Ashwin, do we have bounce for this as well? Unless
No,
we get
no bounce,
until-
only
no bounce.
buzzer.
So yeah, no. What I mean is that, like, let's say first team gets it incorrect, so the other team will get to answer it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until the question is cracked or everyone is done with the question, we'll keep going.
Got it.
Okay. So I think we're on the clock. So let's get started. Yeah. Next slide. It was first obtained from heating the pigment Prussian blue and gets its name from Greek for dark blue. Okay, team 3. Team 3.
This is
Team 3, I need an answer before I count to 3.
cherry and purple. Sorry.
What?
Cherry and purple.
I will have to give you a -10. Team 4.
Cyan.
Okay, so what is the thing? What compound is this?
Cyanide.
We'll get you +10. Lovely answer there. This is indeed cyanide, which of course comes from Greek for dark blue, which is cyan. Team 4 and 8, please lower your hands. Thank you. Yeah, move on. Next question. What is the subject of this book? 31-0.
Just give us the funda.
Yeah, team 6. Team 6.
Yeah.
So
team
this
six.
is the American Samoa team losing 31-0.
We'll get you 10 points. +10 to team 6. Australia beating American Samoa 31-0. Team 7, please lower your hand. Team 7, yeah. Okay, next. It's a video.
It's a video.
Okay.
Just identify who's the subject.
Okay, team 3.
Yeah, team 3 has one.
Team 3?
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh is right. That will get you 10 points. Teams 3, 2, and 7, please lower your hands. Yeah. Thank you. Next. Which movie or character was immortalized by team 4?
R2D2.
We'll get you -10. So which movie or character? There is a reason I asked for either movie or character. This is the most obvious reason. 15-pound radio controlled head. Only a head. Why? Okay, team 3.
E.T.
E.T. is right. E.T. is absolutely right. +10 to team 3. Next.
-10. Okay.
Yeah, -10 for team 4. +10 to team 3. Okay, please lower your hand. Yeah, next. Okay. MTV Awards are always known for rewarding popular movies. And then Brie Larson won Best Fight. Other nominees included Josh Brolin for Avengers Endgame and Maisie Williams for GOT. One other nominee caught everyone's attention as it was from a documentary. And the fight was considerably longer than all the other nominees put together. What was the fight? It's a documentary, so it's probably a real life fight. And okay, team 3.
RBG is basically a fight for like going to Supreme Court.
Okay,
like,
so what exactly was the fight again?
I think she had an iconic fight. So the as in the subject was RBG. So
okay.
So
what exactly was she fighting against then? The idea will do.
Yeah, come again. What exactly do you want?
Whatever the idea is, that will do.
A fight for equality, I guess. Yeah.
I'll give it to you. This was indeed the fight for equality. So RBG was basically fighting against inequality. So +10 to team 3. Good going. Good going. So next question. Whose podcast is titled? Here we go. Team 2. Team 2.
Team 2.
That football journalist Romano, Gerard Romero or something.
We'll get you -10. Team 3.
Fabrizio Romano.
Fabrizio Romano is right. Not Gerard Romero, it's Fabrizio Romano. So +10 to team 3 and -10 to team 2. Next. So this is a free trade area formed in 1969 to create a customs union between these countries. Okay, team 6.
Atlas.
Oh.
We'll get you -10. Of course, teenage.
Amazon.
Can we see?
Not Amazon. That will also get you -10. Team 7.
Gran Chapo.
Will also get you -10. Team 2 again race.
The Andes.
Will get you +10. This is indeed the Andes. So this is called the Andean community.
Right. Should I just read out the next? I mean, who are your next?
Next for team 6, 7 and 8.
And +10 for team 2, right?
2. Yeah, I'm keeping track. Don't worry. I'm keeping track.
Yeah.
Okay, please lower your hands, teams 2 and 7. All right, next.
We're looking for a
Exact
pun.
answer needed. Team 8.
Punny answer.
Team 8. Team 8 followed by team 6. Team 8, yeah. Team 8.
Team 8 just lowered their hand.
No, I didn't lower my hand after the last question.
That's okay. Okay, fine. Never mind.
So that was team 6, I guess. Team 6
Six,
also
yeah, team
lowered
six,
their hand.
team-
They just raised it again.
Team 6.
Team 6.
The picture of Dorian Gray.
Can you spell it?
Can you just repeat it?
Can you spell it?
Picture of Dorian Gray.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. Hey, yeah. Sorry.
Anand, you're saying something?
Picture of Dorian Gray instead of Dorian Gray.
Will get you 10 points. Lovely crack. Lovely crack by team 6. So please lower your hand.
Need the picture of the Dorian Gray.
So
that was the pun we were looking for.
Next. Perpetual Repercussion is an installation by Vivek Sand, which is designed to remark the unique lighting in its location. And it is made up of triangular glass segments, creating light fragments and reflections. Where can it be found? If you look carefully, okay, team 8.
Yeah, this is the seed vault.
Will get you 10 points. This is indeed the global seed vault in Svalbard. This is the artwork on that side. That you see right there, that is the Perpetual Repercussion. Next. At the age of 5, his parents, okay, team 5. Team 5.
This is Dali, Salvador Dali. And the
Salvador Dali is absolutely right. That will get you 10 points.
Okay.
He designed the Chupa Chups logo and other things, so impact on business and our popular culture, of course, the money heist masks and a lot of other things. So please lower your hand. Okay, next. The early 70s was a successful period for Dutch football with the onset of the greatness of, okay, team 1.
This is total football.
We'll get you -10. Team 5. Team 5.
This is Clockwork Orange.
+10. This is indeed a Clockwork Orange adopted from the Anthony Burgess novel and of course the 1971 movie.
Shouldn't just take up the scores.
Yeah, before the final question, we will be giving out the scores. I think the second place is still very much up for grabs. Team 1 is still on 135. Team 1 is on 125 actually. Team 2 on 115. Team 3 has all but won the quiz with 195. Team 4 is on 140. Team 5 is on 115. Team 6 is on 150. Team 7 is on 145. Team 8 is on 90. So second position is a toss-up between teams 4, 6, and 7. The winners have all but been settled. Congratulations to team 3 winning the quiz by a very huge margin. And with that, here comes the final question of Zen Quiz 1.0. Thank you to everyone who took part. And here we go. So the people taking part in this endeavor had to practice slow breathing for days, and each participant had to be accompanied by a military minder and a diving instructor. Team 2.
Team 2.
Avatar.
Team 2.
Is this the OSR?
OS what? Earth or no, that will get you minus 10. Team 5. Team 5.
Is this those pollution cubicles that are installed in many cities, and they have to stay inside those cubicles, and the pollution scenario of every city is simulated in those cubicles?
No. Okay. So I will have to give you another minus 10. So team 2 again.
Is this the politicians from a certain country held the session underwater?
Which
from
country?
like the Maldives or something, I think.
We'll get you 10 points. Team 2 has reclaimed that and spoiled all the other teams' attempts at gunning for second place. So that.
छोटी चीज पे सिद्धू कमेंट्री दे रहा है.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of the quiz, and that was a very quick final, unlike certain quizzes these days. So any feedback on this set will be highly appreciated. And it's result time.
Also, we'll be uploading the video as well as a set.
Yeah, so we'll be uploading the video as well as a set. So please watch and see your own performance. Trust me, it's fun. So I'll announce the final scores as of now. Team 1 is on 125. Team 2 on 115. Team 3 wins with 195. Team 4 on 140. Team 5 on 105. Team 6 on 150, coming in second today by a very narrow margin. Team 7 coming in at 145 and snagging the best college team prize, because team 6 was a college team and they finished second, so the prize would go to the next best team. Team 8 finishes with 90 points. So that's it for today. Thank you everyone. Hopefully all of you enjoyed the quiz.
Do we stop the recording now?
I'll stop the recording. Stop. So any feedback can be DM to any of us. Please do make sure to follow our Instagram page, Quiz Geek. We'll be posting regular questions over there, and stay tuned for further announcements from us. So that brings our quiz to an end. Thank you. All of you may leave the meeting.
Thanks for the quiz. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for taking part.
Thank you.
Did you stop the recording?
Yeah, we'll stop the recording now. So that's it for today. See you another time.